Chaos erupted at Minneapolis City Hall tonight following the resignation of Police Chief Janeé Harteau at the request of Mayor Betsy Hodges.
The mayor's press conference tonight was quickly interrupted by protesters. Protesters said they agree the chief should resign, but as you can hear, they also want Mayor Hodges gone too. Hodges said she's willing to talk to the protesters about their concerns before she left that press conference. And this all comes after a tragic and tumultuous week. Last Saturday night, a police officer fatally shot Justine Damon after she called 911 to report a possible sexual assault outside her home. It took the police chief 5 days to return from a vacation to condemn Officer Mohammed Noor's actions at a news conference just yesterday. Then, earlier today, several city council members questioned the police department's leadership, calling for fundamental change inside the department. Shortly before 6 tonight, Janeé Harteau resigned. She said, in part, despite the many accomplishments under my leadership over these years and my love for the city, I have to put the communities we serve first. Mayor Hodges quickly nominated current Assistant Chief Madero Rondo Arredondo as the new police chief. He's been with the department since 1989. Now, Susan Elizabeth Littlefield is live outside City Hall following all this, where I understand the mayor actually came back to answer some questions tonight. Susan Elizabeth.
That's right, Liz. You know, tense is the way I would describe that press conference that we just walked out of. In fact, tense is the way I would describe many of the events over the past week.
We don't want you as our mayor of Minneapolis anymore. We're asking that you take your staff with you.
Now, protesters took over the podium and Mayor Hodges was escorted out. About 30 minutes later, she came back out and addressed the media, the press who was there. She praised Chief Harteau on her 30 years of service with the city and for breaking barriers. She said she asked Chief Harteau to resign today, and the two agreed it was time for new leadership. We asked her about the timing of this decision. What do you want to say right now to critics who say you're in a campaign, this is a political move to let go of the chief or ask her to resign? What do you want people to know?
That, I am governing right now, regardless of anything else that's going on. My highest priority is what's best for the city and what's best for this work moving forward. And this is not about one event. It isn't about one thing. It's about a whole host of things, and seeing that now is the time for the change.
Now, you heard the protesters. They made it very clear they want the mayor herself to resign. One of the last things she said before she closed this press conference was, I am not going to resign.
All right, Susan Elizabeth, thank you. And before protesters interrupted tonight's press conference, they took to the streets to spread their message. A rally started in Loring Park to honor all of the people killed by police in Minnesota. Then about 100 protesters blocked traffic. They marched down Hennepin Avenue before ending at City Hall.
The president of the police union tonight says the mayor should be the next one to resign. He said that asking for Harteau's resignation was a political move by the mayor for her re-election campaign. Lieutenant Bob Kroll represents the more than 800 officers on the police force.
We had high hopes when Janeé took over as chief, and she seemed to let our department down within the first 6 months of her tenure.
Lieutenant Kroll went on to say that Assistant Police Chief Arredondo is the logical choice to be the next chief, calling him a respected and reasonable police officer. Kroll has not made public comment since the shooting of Justine Damon. He told WCCO tonight that since Officer Mohammed Noor and his lawyer have not made a statement, it would be irresponsible for the police union to do so. Well, meanwhile, there is a new development in the case itself. BCA agents have located a witness to the deadly shooting of Justine Damon.
We learned about a possible bicyclist in the area that night when the BCA released details about what happened. That individual was riding eastbound on West 51st Street. The BCA said tonight that bicyclist stopped at the scene and watched as the officers provided medical assistance to Damon. Investigators say they have interviewed that bicyclist, and they are now requesting anyone else who may have witnessed something to come forward. Stay with WCCO 4 News for continuing coverage of the investigation and the fallout from the Justine Damon shooting.